us, and as they get to be a part of this today, they will have that task of looking through those applications for our next cycle. With that, I would now like to transition into inviting our Tribal Chief, Ron Ekdahl, for some opening remarks. So please help me in welcoming Chief Ekdahl.
Good morning, everybody. It's another wonderful opportunity that we get to come in front of you and present you with some checks and some money, and that's always a good thing. So, and you didn't have to play any slot machines or make any bets. You're welcome. So I'm very excited to do this, and I've been honored for the last 4 years to be able to be a part of the 2% distributions and to seeing the impacts that it's had in, here in Isabella County and Aranac County. It's really, it's humbling and it's very gratifying to be a part of the process, and very much appreciate all the hard work that goes into it, the thoughtful submissions that everybody submits and puts in for funding. And you know, I appreciate the council that's been a part of the process and that's put in the work to be a part of these roundtable discussions and these meetings. It's been a point of pride for me that we have taken the process and we've really tried to open those lines of communication and be more open and really understand what the needs of the community are and what the needs of your you know, areas that you represent are. You know, that's something that I'm very grateful for the council members that participated in that, and also you tribal leaders and community leaders and representatives who were a part of that. I think that that's very helpful, and I think that really allowed us to understand where these dollars were going, how they're being used, and how they fit into the grand scheme of things when we understand that you have master plans and you have priorities within your organization. So moving forward, and I'm fortunate to be able to move into this next term in the leadership, I really hope that we can continue to have that open communication, and that we can take this process and move it forward in a bigger way. We're giving away millions of dollars, and that's such a huge resource. I think we could really do a good job of master planning and understanding and setting priorities and having a process where we're getting big initiatives done and completed, and then we can move on to other things and really have a bigger impact. I know a lot of us, we utilize the roads, our children attend the schools, you know, we go to the city parks, you know, we all live in this community, and to have the opportunity to really give back and leverage this resource that we have to give back to the community, I think it makes our community a special place, and some place that, you know, we can all be proud of to live in, and we can all really have nice, wonderful things, a beautiful community to be a part of. So those are the opportunities that I see, and I'm very thankful that, you know, we have this resource and we have the ability to come together, you know, on a, I don't know, kind of beautiful weather day this is, but it's a it's a beautiful day regardless. So thank you.
On that note, it's not snowing. I know there's precipitation, but at least it's warm or semi-warm out for this time of year. So thank you very much to you for those words. And you know, as he says, it takes a lot of people, and that's before we get to distribution, I'd like to thank some of the other people that really helped make this possible. So obviously, first and foremost, those individuals that help us get those checks provided and look at those distributions. We have Dominic Ortiz, Chief Financial Officer. So Dominic in the back there, thank you very much. Jackie Reeder, our Controller. Jackie also assists with that process, so thank you very much. When you look at the task, and generally we see a lot of those submissions coming through education, we have a great team working together to help prioritize and rate those. So with us today, we have Melissa Isaac, our Director of Education. And then we have Christina Sharp, Assistant Education Director. So thank you very much to both of you. A big thank you to my staff. We have Marcella Hadd, Interim Public Relations Manager, in the back there. Marcella, thank you for all that you do. And Sandy McCreary, the Public Relations Assistant. Sandy, thank you to you as well. They help make sure everything runs seamlessly and smoothly, help make sure that I'm here and make sure that I have the things necessary, because trust me, I can't do it alone. And then we'd also like to thank Don Seal, our community engineer. Don helps with our roads and the infrastructure there. And assisting him, Brian Smith, our Economic Development Director. So Brian helps us hold the hand there. Thank you to both of you, gentlemen. And then all the way around to my right, Tony Caselli, hiding back there from the Road Commission. Tony, thank you. I know that you put in some work to help us with our local townships. So with that, we'll move forward today with our distributions. And we'll begin with Isabella County. Today, Isabella County is receiving $325,000. And on behalf of Isabella County, we have Chairman George Green.
Thank you, Eric. This is a beautiful facility. Just before I came here and came in the door and found the place, which very expressively did a good job, and this is just my skills at actually going out and following things. Frank here showed me around a little bit, and actually it's nice going into the new administration area in there because it's got nice chairs and coffee, and Frank, just don't hurry up so we can relax and enjoy it. Really beautiful facility. It's very nice. Here, I know that years ago he had told me, and so had others, that they were going to increase, or actually overhaul their administration part of it, and this is what they've done, and they did a great job. Right now, the Isabella County Board of Commissioners would certainly like to thank the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe and the Tribal Council for the money we're receiving today. I always get amazed when I get out here that the amount of money, and I believe Eric said this the last time I was here, was almost $250 million. $250 million came in to Isabella County. What other county of the 83 in Michigan has that? We are so lucky to have the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe here participate in this, and I know there's still things going on with the Lansing people, but regardless of that, they respect it, and they still continue to give us a 2% fund. So again, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, George. All right, next we have the City of Mount Pleasant receiving $257,965. And on behalf of the City of Mount Pleasant, we have Mayor Will Joseph.
Minokashep, good morning. I just wanted to say, Miigwech, thank you for our 2% tribal distribution. Obviously today, we're receiving quite a bit of money to help with a lot of our programs, especially next year for our 2020 census preparation, which is really going to be immensely impactful on the lives of everybody, not only in the city of Mount Pleasant, but in the surrounding areas. When we, go to the federal government for grant money and monies for almost anything you can think of over the next 10 years, and so that it means quite a bit. And also, I know from a lot of community members, the longstanding funding of the PEAK program is something that it really helps the people that are, most disadvantaged, or not necessarily, but it does serve that population where you have working moms and dads, and these kids are able to, have somewhere to be after school and get help with their homework and, the recreational and community building. So I just, want to say thank you again, Miigwech, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Joseph. And yeah, I think when you talk about some of those important things that, we talk about the census. I know it's something that's continuously talked about. The tribe's a partner here. We're looking to collaborate with the Mount Pleasant Community Foundation, who's kind of taking that initiative. But if you need anything here, we're here as a resource, so reach out. We understand the importance as do you, so we'd like to make sure we have those conversations. Next on our list today, we have Chippewa Township receiving $10,000. And on behalf of Chippewa Township, we have Rob Smith, Township Supervisor.
Thank you. If you notice on the whole breakdown, Chippewa Township only received a general allocation of $10,000, and that's on purpose. In the fall, I do not ask for anything because I would like to have money distributed for other people's needs, and that's important to me to us this way. That won't change. So, with that, thank you all very much for what you do and how hard everybody works at this. And I mean everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'm sure others appreciate the generosity. And as you look to that, I know Rob said time and time again that he only puts in those grants when he feels the true need within his community. And I know they, his local citizens and his constituents, they come to him and ask him for those things. But yes, time and time again, I know that he's selfless and make sure that we can help distribute that money. So thank you very much. Next today, we have Coe Township receiving $54,500. And on behalf of Coe Township, we have Mary K. Moss, the Coe Township Supervisor.
Coe Township just wants to say thank you very much. This is a road project for us, and so we will be, the tribe's been very generous with us. I think Coe Township was probably one of the first to receive 2% in our township hall. We have a plaque hanging in the township hall. It was in October of 1996 that township hall was completed. And there's a plaque hanging there. This is a project for Wise Road. It's been in phases, and we've completed that from our southern boundary at South County Line Road, and this will take us to Millbrook on our northern boundary. So thank you very much. This is certainly a project that we couldn't complete on our own. It has taken generous contributions from the tribe.
Thank you, Mary. And I know that, I said it before, but I know Tony and Pat's not here today, but also Pat Gaffney from the Road Commission. They do a fantastic job of working with our local townships, our local governments on identifying those road projects where we can really make sure we're maximizing those dollars. So we appreciate your assistance. I know Don also has a hand in that, and when we can collaborate, work together, and really talk about how we can make these things a reality. It may not all be at once, but if we can start funding those roads and get those things done, when we have the end result, it's pretty impressive. So next, speaking of a road, I think Walt has one that he applied for, and that's Deerfield Township, today receiving $140,310.24. And on behalf of Deerfield Township, we have Walt Nelson, Township Clerk.
Thank you very much. As usual, I can't find the best words to express our gratitude for your support. We at the local level, we do a pretty good job, I think, of handling difficult situations. But because of your support, we handle some impossible situations. I mean that literally. All the worthy projects that you support at the township level, the one that I can address the most is roads. I can relate to that the most of any. And I shudder to think of the number of roads over the last several years that would have been turned back to gravel if it wasn't for your support. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Walt. All right, moving on, we have Denver Township today receiving $85,000, and on behalf of Denver Township, we have John Pettiak, Township Supervisor.
Well, thank you. Again, it's a privilege. I've been coming up here on and off since 2005 when I became the Township Supervisor. And during that entire time, it's been an honor and a pleasure to be able to work hand in hand with the tribe. Working on different projects in times of like now where we're just working on general maintenance, and also in times of crisis where we've had quite a few different issues that have come up over the years with our flooding issues and so on. And it's always been a great pleasure to work with you guys. And the other members of our community. The Road Commission, I can't say enough for Tony and his staff. They work very hard to help us and do what we need to do to try and figure out how we can maintain the roads and repair these issues as they come up. And one of the things I really want to, I'm kind of going outside, but with Tony here and their crew, when they went through, and after that first flood we had about 10 years ago, and we had so much damage done, and working with the tribe and getting our remaining roads put underneath the federal system. When we had that second flood, my township is getting basically 3 or 4 bridges from that. because of the major damages that, because of the federal funding, would never have been done. And we have people that literally have no other way to get in and out of their home without going over those bridges. So without that kind of work, we'd be in a lot of trouble. So again, thank you to them, and thank you to you guys for working hand in hand with us. This disbursement here is going to be going to road repairs and trying to keep that stuff still going. So thank you.
Thank you, John. Much appreciated. And you know, as we continuously talk about, and one of the big themes of our roundtables have been collaboration. And as John talks about, you know, we need to sit down and have those open lines of discussion, those open lines of dialogue, because it really helps us identify some of these needs. And you know, I sat down with this council, with previous administrations, and when they look at all these requests, and we had 354 this time, to sort through and allocate which funds and which grants are selected. They have to go through and oftentimes it's the conversations you guys have with them about those needs you have in your communities, about what really could impact your communities. So as always, it's continue to have you guys being involved in those, encourage you guys to attend those. They're very helpful, I think, for our side, and I hope they are for yours as well. Next, we have Isabella Township, today receiving $120,000. And on behalf of Isabella Township, we have Bob Walton.
Well, again, thank you. It's a privilege to be here to accept this. Our funding, again, is going towards Lincoln Road, and we have some lighting at the Horse Show Arena, at the fairgrounds, and then our general allocation. The one thing I'd like to bring up is the fact that I don't know how many people stop and think about the tangible income that comes from this facility. The people you draw in spend money in this city. The rebuilding you use in construction jobs. Our farm has benefited personally sometimes for some of your events, being able to provide certain products. So it's not just this Christmas gift per se, it's the other things that really help go towards this community. And we all have a responsibility to try and do the best we can do with the monies provided. And thank you for including us.
Thank you very much. And, you know, that's that thing that we talk about, and we understand, just as you say, you know, we couldn't do it alone. We need your support. We need to work together. We need to make sure that you guys are seeing the impacts from us, and that we can really make sure that we're providing what's necessary to your communities. So, next we have Nottawa Township today receiving $102,502.10. And on behalf of Nottawa Township, we have a fill-in, and George Green is going to accept, not double dipping, just making sure that he's receiving on somebody's behalf.
Thanks, Eric. I'm just a 10%er. No, okay, you're right. I'm not double dipping up here. Judy Shoemaker has a couple of funerals today, and she asked me to step in and collect the money for them. Nottawa Township needs all the funds they can get, because right now they're in the E. coli problem, and DEQ is on them, and they've got to actually overhaul Beale City and Coldwater Lake. And that's going to take a lot of funds. And for the parks and the things that you folks funded for today will be serious, like the air packs for the fire department, I believe is there in that. It's an excellent source for fixing that stuff without taking it out of their general fund. And money that's actually going to have to come from other sources, and also the community to pay for this. So the Nottawa Township Board wants to certainly thank the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe and the Tribal Council for this money. Appreciate it, and it'll be well used. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, George, and please send our thoughts and condolences to Judy and her family, as that's never you know, an easy time for somebody to go through. So just let her know that we're thinking about her, and we appreciate her having you fill in for us. Next, we have Union Township, today receiving $63,120. And on behalf of Union Township, we have Trustee Norm Worley.
Good morning. Well, first of all, I'm here to accept this award for Union Township with a great deal of gratitude and appreciation. I want to thank Eric, Chief Ron, Frank, Greg, the Tribal Council, and all of the members of the tribal nation here for your continued generosity with what you do these funds are going to be used for the purchase for safety equipment, basically for defibrillators, which will be distributed among some of our facilities within Union Township and ballparks, and also for fire prevention, hydrants, etc., that will be put into primarily the east side of our township as well. You know, it seems that it's very fitting that we're here today to talk about gifting and talking about Thanksgiving and gratitude, especially during this holiday season. And it reminds me, I always like to give a little story when I come up here. There's a book that I'm sure most of you have heard about. It's called The 5 Love Languages. It was written by Gary Chapman. And in The 5 Love Languages, basically it's a book in which he describes how people give and receive love. And it's mainly done in terms of trying to help couples in relationships. But I think that the concepts in that book can be expanded much more generally. So the 5 love languages are gifting, quality time, service, affection, and affirmation. And so I see the tribe's gifts that they give to our community year after year that have had an enormous impact in terms of what we have for services, what we have for different projects within our community. I was reading that in 2018, the tribe contributed over $6 million to the 2 townships of Standish and to Mount Pleasant. And they also exceeded all other tribes in the amount of money that was dispersed in 2018 as well. I think it's a tremendous accomplishment. And these gifts have funded numerous projects and programs, improving the overall quality of life for all of our residents. The money that is awarded yearly to multiple community agencies, which provide services to those that are in need. The tribe also shows its compassion and its affection for our youth and our elderly by the contributions that you make to our schools and to the programs that enhance senior citizens. And today, we all gather around in order to express our affirmation in terms of our appreciation and our gratitude for all that the tribe has bestowed upon us in these gifts. So again, we all benefit as a result of the tribe's 5 love languages. And if you noticed that they all were included in this: gifting, quality time, the service, the affection, and the affirmation. So again, I thank you all for everything that you do for our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And we always look forward, Norm, when you come up here, we know that you're going to share a story with us. And, I think everybody can appreciate the work you put into those, but we do appreciate that, Norm, and thank you for those words. And as we've talked about today, those are things that we continuously try to improve upon and make sure that are being reflected in the work that we do. So next we have the Village of Shepherd today receiving $50,408. And on behalf of the Village of Shepherd, we have Police Chief Luke Sawyer.
Well, that's definitely a hard act to follow after Norm. It's humbling to be up here, and I would assume that all of the other recipients, it's always humbling to come in front of you on such an incredible day. I guess I just echo the sentiments of Chief Echo when it comes to community. It doesn't matter where your kids go to school, what township, village, city you live in, what roads you drive on every day or don't drive on. We're all a community together. And it's amazing to be and honoring to be amongst all of these leaders as well, as we make Isabella County be just the most incredible community that it possibly can. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief. All right, rounding out our government allocations today, we have Wise Township today receiving $23,578. And on behalf of Wise Township, we have Township Clerk Doris Smith.
Thanks, everyone. I am honored to accept this money on behalf of Wise Township. The allocation for the tire drive is kind of an expanded thing. I've done tire drives in our township for the last probably 10 years. Now that I'm retired, I decided to take on a little extra, and I've expanded this into Denver and Isabella Township. So I will be coordinating a tire drive for the 3 townships, and I look forward to it, and hope that we can clean up our areas and our ditches and get rid of all those mosquitoes and trash that lays around there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doris.
Thank you, Doris, and I'm sure it's much appreciated as she's talking about the collaboration. And yes, I know we miss Doris. She was a longtime employee of the Soaring Eagle Casino, so miss you over there. But sounds like you're staying a little busy and taking on some extra responsibilities. So, all right, we're going to transition into our education disbursements this morning. And to start with our education, we'll have Melissa and Christina. They're going to take over as again, they're a huge part of this process. So in the meantime, just want to pay tribute here and a shout out to Natalie Shattuck, who is with our Tribal Observer. And the beautiful artwork you see on the wall behind us was her images and the work that she's done and created. So Natalie, a big thank you to you for providing that. So, nice focal point there. So today's first education disbursement will be to Beale City Public Schools, today receiving $122,287.24. And on behalf of Beale City Public Schools, we have Bill Chilman, Superintendent.
On behalf of the students and the staff and the community of Beale City, thank you. Most of the grants that were written focused on literacy and safety. And when we met at our roundtable, those were the things that we discussed. So I echo Ron's sentiments in regards to how important those meetings are. We've got a lot of things going on out at Beale City, infrastructure-wise that George talked about earlier, and some great education. Sometimes with the governments, we can see the improvements that happen with the roads and other things that are done. Sometimes with education, it's a little tougher to see. But I did want to share the class of 2020 out at Beale City was just recognized as the 56th out of about 560 school districts in Michigan, the 56th rated SAT scores in the state. And so the efforts that we receive from your grants and the work that we do out there along with you, it is paying off, and we want to make sure that we share those with you so you can see the benefits. So again, thank you very much on behalf of Beale City Schools.
Go Aggies!
Yeah, big football game Saturday. So, go Aggies there for them. We're hoping that they have a chance to advance and represent our region. So no pressure there. All right. Next we have Chippewa Hills School District receiving $34,330. And on behalf of Chippewa Hills, we have Dr. Bob Grover, Superintendent.
Thank you. As the family of warriors, we like to really appreciate everything that the tribe does for us annually. This program that we received funding for is a vaping program. So we're going to not only try to help detect it or deal with it, but we also have an educational component within it. So we're going to try to educate our students more frequently, more liberally, hopefully making them more aware. If you haven't watched the news, it's a huge epidemic that's impacting us. So we're trying to tackle it head on. We're hoping this works. For those schools that have asked me about it, and I've had a few already saying, did you get it? And I'm like, not yet. But now that I have it, I'm going to be making some return phone calls because they want to know, how does it work? Is it going to work? You know, Jen and I just chatted a few minutes beforehand. So we'll be sharing some of those results and hopefully getting back with you. Just to clarify, because those that do know me, this is not me, and I am not a hunter, okay? This is actually me raising money for one of our students. We have a cancer student at Barrington. So I did the No Shave November challenge for him, brought in just not quite $3,000 for their family. So we appreciate that. So those in the community.
Thank you, Dr. Grover. And thanks for the comments and great work in your communities for those local, obviously, students and your family that you have over there. So I can relate to when you talk about not hunting. I said something to my wife about hunting, she just kind of laughed at me. I got some stories if you want to talk later. Me and Chief Beck, I'll share them with you, but not a hunter, as he'll attest to. Next, we have Mount Pleasant Public Schools today, receiving $430,546.63, and on behalf of Mount Pleasant Public Schools, Superintendent Jennifer Berlicker.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the students, faculty, and staff members of Mount Pleasant Public Schools, I am honored to accept this check today, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. When I look at the grants that have been funded today in our district, and I feel like we talk about this all the time, we are really funding programs for our students that are the most vulnerable and the neediest, right? These are students that now have a field trip opportunity because the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe has paid for that opportunity. These are students that are able to take their learning a step further because of this additional support that you have provided for us. So thank you doesn't seem like near enough to be able to say you, but we are completely grateful. The other big area that this grant is going for is to increase our safety measures. It seems sort of overwhelming to figure out how we might lock down doors in a district that has over 650 classroom doors. So this fall I said, okay, let's start small, and that's exactly what we're doing so that we can get some of our doors secured with the boot system and move forward over time, because I know that that task seems overwhelming to me, it seems overwhelming to our district, but we know it's something that we need to do to be able to keep our students safe. So thank you for the continued partnership and support. We are incredibly grateful.
Thank you, Jennifer. And yeah, as you touch on some of those public safety needs or the school safety needs, obviously something we never want to have to encounter or deal with, but we have the individuals making sure that we be proactive to those situations and make sure that they're in place along with our public safety officials here, and great collaboration there, so we're thankful for that. Moving on, we have Shepherd Public Schools today, receiving $301,759.43, and on behalf of Shepherd Public Schools, Superintendent Steve Brimmer.
Bring a couple of.
I'm making them all come up. I echo what Jen just said. She said thank you doesn't seem like enough, and I agree wholeheartedly, especially when you consider Mount Pleasant and Shepherd have been lucky enough to partner with Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe on the SAMHSA grant, which has provided extra counselors to each of our buildings, and the partnership we have with you guys is absolutely amazing. Yesterday afternoon, I was standing with Chief Sawyer at the bus loop, and I said something to the effect of, I never know what to say because it's not enough. And he said, well, maybe have your principals come up, and they can give a brief overview of what it will do in each building. That's a great idea. It takes the mic out of my hand. You'll notice the excitement on their faces.
Thanks, Luke.
We have two more principals. One is dealing with an unexpected health issue, and one is dealing with an unexpected student behavioral issue, which comes up every now and then. But thank you guys enough. I can't say that. I cannot say it enough. And here I will pass the mic off to Jason Wolf for Shepherd Elementary. I did promise that I did tell him to keep it short, though.
Don't worry. In our building, I mean, looking over this list of, we received 31 grants in total. I'm looking at this, and over half of them impact our building specifically, and we're very appreciative. And it's keeping our kids safe and expanding their learning in ways that we wouldn't be able to do without this help. And pointed out, if you wanted us to point out one, our cultural field trips, that is something that we're able to give every student in our building the opportunity to experience a field trip into our community and expose them to things that they wouldn't necessarily receive if it wasn't for this. So thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Lori Richards, and I'm from Wynn Elementary, and a heartfelt thank you to everyone from our Wynn family to everyone here. We wanted to highlight, the thing that we were highlighting today is about our positive behavior supports we have in our building, which is really exciting initiative for our building. So in our building with literacy, every single student, because of this grant, is going to receive a book to make sure that they take home a book every night that they can read. And the other really exciting thing is that we got a book vending machine that you're gonna all have to come out and check out. So instead of having candy, there's gonna be all different kind of books for kids that are gonna be used for initiatives that they can receive for free when they do good things, being good humans in our school, to be safe, be responsible, and be respectful. So again, a heartfelt thank you for that, for those opportunities for our kids.
Well, you guys might as well get some coffee and donuts. Okay, not really. I'm Mike Evans. I'm the director of Odyssey Middle High School Shepherd's Alternative Ed Program. And I got to say, thank you to the tribe, the council, everybody involved here. Without the grants that we receive, a lot of the opportunities and things that we're able to do for some of the areas most at-risk learners just simply wouldn't occur. Right now, I noticed that we're going to be receiving our summer school grant again. And that's something that allows a lot of students who are behind in credits or need a place to be in the summer, a place to be that's safe and secure that they can get some learning done. It also lets us get the kids out into the woods and learn about nature because we have a big component of that with our program. We also received a grant for our Odyssey Forestry program, which is something that we want to kick off and get moving so the kids can learn about the forest and see what we have in there. So again, thank you all. Very much appreciative.
And as always, yes, we encourage anybody that would like to speak. Steve, I appreciate Luke giving the information. We welcome everyone up here. If there's ever any guests or any other representatives you want to bring up, we welcome that and enjoy that, the sharing and how things are really working in communities. So. Moving on, we have Renaissance Public Schools receiving $119,340. And on behalf of Renaissance, we have Lisa Bergman, Executive Director.
First, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of our kids. This means a ton, and I love this day. I think what we need to, when you try to explain this process to someone who doesn't live here, they don't necessarily realize the connections that happen. Sorry. Because we see this so much as really neat things for kids. So these grants mean that our middle school kids this summer, we're going to take them all over the state. We're going to take them on field trips into universities and to show them schools and jobs and places they've never seen. At the same time, we realized that we needed to make school a really safe place, and we had to guarantee our kids that this is good stuff. But before we can do all this with kids, we have to make sure they're safe. And it's just this really daunting job. I mean, to say, come in and learn and be excited and read, but we have to keep them safe, and so that will do this. At the same time, there's this really interesting connectedness between, I'm so excited to see the Commission on Aging piece. We have these amazing grandmas and grandpas who come into our school every day who do great work. Forest Hill is on there, and the things that the RESD does, those connections are huge. Union Township, if you've driven down Isabella this week, don't be mad at me, but it's a mess. I mean, we've been drilling under the road and doing all that stuff, but it's because of those connections between us as a community. And when we have the opportunity to go places that aren't in our county and area, people don't understand that. They say, Lisa, what's a 2% grant? What does that mean? I don't think you can understand the depth of it unless you've sat in this room again and again and read these lists. So, when I get excited, this is how it comes out. I am super excited to go back and say to a group of 3rd and 4th graders that the crazy little projects that they need $10, $20, $40 to pull off, they can do without needing to go home and find the supplies and do that. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I've made it all these times without doing that. Those that know me know that that's how I show my appreciation. And so on behalf of our kids and all the other kids and the roads and Commission on Aging and Peak and all of those pieces that connect us, thank you.
think it really does truly show that it's emotional. I think that what we do here, the words aren't enough to express kind of what we go through, and I think we can all be a part of that, and all, one way or another, have felt that through some of these grants. So it's okay. We appreciate that. You genuinely are a part of this process and invested into it. It's just not something we go through the motions on, but something that we're really having the impacts to all of our citizens and make this a great place to live. So with that, we'll close out our distributions today with the Gratiot Isabella RESD. Today they are receiving $38,475, and on behalf of Gratiot Isabella RESD, Superintendent Jan Mansterberg, Kathy Peasley, Associate Superintendent, and Erica Kelly, Director at Forest Hill.
Hey, thank you, Rick. So I got to follow Lisa.
I know.
Thanks, Lisa. But I picked up a tip from Chief Sawyer, subcontract. I like that. Just a couple of thoughts. First of all, I want to put a shout out to council and to the chief. I remember years ago when we got in our circles and began to talk about what we need to do as community, and sharing ideas. That all comes to fruition in a day like today, and when you hear the results, and not only of the schools, which we're a part of, but also I think Lisa made some great comments about it's the roads, it's the fabric of what we do, it's libraries, and it's all these things that make us who we are, and that is so, so special. And brought up Kathy and Erica, and they're going to say a couple of things about how their programs are impacted, but again, I wanted to say thank you. And it's like last summer, we had a big, was the Forest Hill appreciation thing, and Chief came out, we'd like that smoked pizza, or that would be, there you go. But we had a great day, and it showed great respect. But it was a great day, and we got to share some of the things that we do out there on behalf of the kids that would not be responsible for now these grants. So we appreciate that, and now I will subcontract.
Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone here who makes this possible. At Forest Hill, we get to weave into that fabric a love for nature and an empathy for our environment that is lacking in a lot of our younger generations. So we get to have kids out there on a daily basis, in the rain, in the snow, and they never mind it. Sometimes us older folks do, but they're loving it. And it's such a joy to bring them to that place where they respect plants and our watersheds, and that they understand them a little bit better as young as preschool students. So thank you for all the people. I recognize all faces. I see a lot of your kids out here. I get hugs all the time saying, thank you, Bug Lady. We loved it. And I cannot tell you what a blessing it is to be in that role. So thank you for helping make that happen, and we really appreciate it.
And I wanted to share with you just one other project. Educational research tells us that early mathematics, counting, addition, and subtraction are some of the best predictors of later success, not only in mathematics, but students that are successful in early mathematics become better readers and are more successful in school. And so one of the initiatives we have taken on is called Math Recovery, but it's a program designed for lower elementary teachers to learn how to best teach these basic fundamental skills of counting, addition, and subtraction. The grant we received here today will provide instructional materials for 10 teachers to participate in professional learning around them, and for 10 classrooms of kids to better engage in doing mathematics in kindergarten, first and second grade, to help them become, in the future, even more successful readers and more successful students in school. So again, echoing everybody else's thanks, very, very much appreciated. We could not do many of these programs without the support of the tribe, so much appreciated.
Thank you very much, and well done. As always, we love hearing the updates and love being a part of some of these grants and seeing those in action. So as I said before, and I know we are working through that, but if there's a chance where you'd like to invite our leadership out to show something, show what we're doing, just contact Public Relations or the council directly, and we'd love to be a part of that. So all in all, today we gave away just under $3 million, and it's something, as we look at the holidays, are super grateful for, and it's something that we're able to really share these resources. So as we head into those holiday seasons, we say Chi-miigwech to all of you for your partnership, for your dedication to our communities, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys after the new year. But thank you for coming. If you'd like to pop in and see some of our new spaces, or what's that?
Excuse me. Oh, some
All right. Well, before we end, we do have a council member that'd like to share, so I will invite Lou Bruner up to say a few words.
Only because I can. I just want to thank everybody for coming, and I actually really want to thank the previous tribal council under the leadership of Frank Cloutier for setting up those discussion tables, because I remember when I was new 2 years ago, that can be a little bit intimidating or a little bit uncomfortable because we don't really know these people. And so I just want to give some advice to our new council and hope that even if you feel a little bit uncomfortable, go and attend these, because what that opened up was an opportunity to see what the needs were in our community firsthand, and actually show a little bit of personality. At the last round table, I'm looking around, we're talking about the vape detectors at the education. And so other educators were asking, how does that work? Because it would detect it, but you won't know who's going in there because you don't have cameras. And he just looked as serious as could be at the other educators, like, you don't have cameras in your bathroom? And they're like, no, do you? And he's like, no. And the whole table busted out laughing, like, of course we know. So what it told me is like, wow, they have a sense of humor. I like that. We're gonna brand that one. No. But I've heard a lot of good words about community strength being collaboration, connectedness, and bringing our resources. But I think a stronger word and a better word would be the relationships that are built, because those are lifelong. Whether we're sitting in these elected positions, we're all still members of this community, and we will all have those relationships. So thanks everybody for coming. That's all I have.
Lou, you did a fantastic job with your closing. I should have just had you on there. I apologize for not forgetting that part. But again, I just want to say thank you for coming today. A thank you to Soaring Eagle Casino Resort for obviously always providing more than enough goodies. So please make sure you take some. Otherwise, they're going to be here, and then we'll find their way somewhere, probably right around here. So make sure you help us out with that. And we appreciate you guys for coming. So enjoy your holiday season, and we'll look forward to seeing you next year. Thanks.